What up, world? It's your boy Sky, broadcasting live. I'm doing a video about focus, following through, and just really sticking with the focus. Of course, there's a lot of content that I say, a lot of content other people say, and to be honest, none of us are perfect, but I'll be the first to admit that, okay, with my content, I'm giving it my all, or I'm giving it, my all, and very truthful with it, and throughout my evolution that um, overgoing right now, you know, there have been a few times that I have slipped, of course, and that's given, especially throughout the whole, however long I initially began recording these kind of videos. So, and it's just rising higher, and then maybe drop up, rising higher, rising higher, rising higher, like that kind of, and that's my own fault. I'm the one to, be responsible for that in general. And it's not even that serious or big of a deal, to be honest, but it's just like the little things, like the little focus aspects and the small things that we can improve are something that I'm looking forward to really just going forward with it. Because, I see the evolution, I see where things can go, and, I'm riding with it, to be honest, because my whole body's transformed, my whole life is transformed, and deep down, like we all know, like our calling, our mission, or and kind of like a light that we can see ourselves in. I'm speaking about us, well, anybody, but especially us that are early 20s, establishing ourselves or whatever. And yeah, that's that, to be honest. Like there's certain things that it's like we're at the crossroads. Shout out to Bone Thugs, but it's literally like we're at the crossroads. So pick a side, and I don't know, maybe just go forward. I don't know. It's subjective to everybody, but I keep always be saying these. I be doing these videos. I do these videos, as affirmations, as a journal, as a vlog, as a diary, and I stick with it for the most part, to be honest, and I'm just being honest on this camera that I'm still going to really, 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 really just, tune up those last little tiny kinks, within me, and just look to really stay true, and just focus on that focus and discipline, honestly, because I've been doing it, veganism, celibacy, all that. It's just, how we do it, when we do it, certain little factors here and there that aren't even that big of a deal, that sometimes maybe we're really hard with ourselves. Even those I'm looking to overcome to really just master that and just, be a nerd. You know what I mean? I guess that's the bottom line. Like, I'm a nerd. You know what I mean? I'm a nerd. I'm different, and I'm just learning to embrace that and own that, because a lot of times, to be honest, I'll still find myself sometimes in a comparison mindset, and I guess it's how you look at it. You can say it's inspiration or as, comparison, whatever, this or that, and it's subjective to a lot of different situations, to be honest, but I'm really, 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 really dialing in just to acceptance of myself too, because that's been the universal message, to accept, who I am, the golden bronze aura that I have, and as well as who I am internally and all of that, and just accept it and move forward, because to be honest, a lot of times I still might have a stray eye or whatever because of, you guessed it, distractions, people, to be honest, and like it's not that serious or not that big of a deal. But I'm just saying, even just in my mind, like not even doing things, but just sometimes in my mind or whatever, I may start ruminating, overthinking, you know, and really getting that whole comparison thing of like, oh, okay, this or that, like, and just losing my train of thought, my focus, just because this person, may be playing real loud music and smoking cigarettes and, you know, they're arguing on the phone and whatever. The list goes on, but that's just one case scenario. But anyways, I'm just learning to just let that go and truly run my own race. I've been saying this a whole lot, of course, I know. And it's been improving. It's been growing, like, within me to, grow with my whole getting away from comparison. But it's just, I'm saying I'm still overcoming that because it's a continual process, and it's just throughout the life, like, it's constantly gonna, well, it's supposed to be filled with growth every day, like I'm doing, like some of us are doing, people that are going down, 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 down every single day, every day, I'm having to let those distractions go, to be honest. And I've been saying that and I've been doing it, it's just, I really gotta just really pull it out of me to, for real, stick with it, by staying focused. Because, to be honest, other mentors and guides and helpers and older people, y'all inspire us, myself, for real, to see, where we can be in our own unique way. And I guess that's the reason why I'm really getting messages to, like, dial in and lock in to be different, and seeing that it's been working, in its own, nerdy way. It's just, I'm having to really own this nerdiness, strangeness, differentness, and just stick with it, and stop doubting and stop overthinking it, because that's what happens a lot, to be honest, to be 100% truthful and real with y'all. And it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a thing going on, but I'm just talking about, just really mastering myself, with being stable and consistent, and not judging myself so much, and, not finding myself in certain patterns over and over again, and just finding a solution, just getting real with myself. Because this whole journey process is like, some people might say, oh, there is no meaning. Well, I guess you can say that there is no meaning to life, and at the same time, like, we give it meaning, you know what I mean? And we're a part of a meaning. We're living a purpose, So that's what I'm excited about, is to be living more purposeful and meaningful, and actually to feel that and embody that, and, go forward without just feeling like, oh my gosh, like, this is so boring, and oh my gosh, I'll never make it, and oh my God, like, all these things like that, I'm getting over, to be honest, because I literally feel some good things coming, just based off of the interactions I'm getting with just random strangers, you know what I'm saying? Random strangers way older than me, and we hitting off conversations like that, like talking on the bus like that, talking on the phone while I'm driving like that, just getting things done. And I know, oh, it's common sense. You're a grown man. You're supposed to do it. Don't talk about it. Do this. Nah. And I'm gonna learn to stop doing that so much too. These second voices, like voices or whatever, because that's what this whole process is. It's getting me, to really listen to my own voice and just to move forward with that consistently, because I see what's up. Like, obviously, part of being a real, truthful one, honest one, mature, one is like, you got to be vulnerable, by being honest with your own self, and that's projected through, just the life, you know what I mean? And I'm looking to really, do well with it, with this whole process of maturing, as well as, staying on track and in discipline. So that's that. You know, I'll be all right though. You know, it's just sometimes we got to really wake up and see who we're gonna become, who we can become, who we are becoming, who we're in the process of becoming, and you know, honor that because you know the more and more we're starting to let go, you know, the more and more natural things are flowing, and the more and more it's like, the more and more it's like, you know, it's a disservice to go back. So, anyways, that's what I'm speaking about. That. To calm these dogs down because it's some loud neighbors, loud people, of course, all the time. Somebody got to disrupt the peace. Of course. Shh, stop. Stop. Man, it's the vibes. I'm telling, it's the vibes too. And I'm still recording this uncut, unedited. You know what I mean? Because I'm a real one. But like, it's the vibes for real. There's some people that are freaking loud, like very loud and like whatever, obnoxious. And who am I to speak about that, right? Because I'm all of that right there. To be honest, I have much experience of being very, very, very obnoxious, very immature, very pathetic, very evil, toxic, wicked, whatever you want to call it. I have a lot of moments of myself doing that. So, but I've let that go a lot, and I've moved forward from that. You know, it's just I'm not gonna be so hard on other people too. It's just sometimes like we notice people, and like to be honest, in the neighborhood I'm in, you know, sometimes people be slamming the door real loud, slamming the door, or like you know they'll be talking super loud, and all this I'm just stating facts, okay? Because I've done that to the extreme on some embarrassing stuff. And maybe I'm being too hard on myself, I don't know. But I'm just saying I've really done it on the extreme, you know, brought out a whole lot out of me, you know. Relationship issues, drama, fights, arguments, you know, it's all honestly that's all part of building a true long-lasting relationship. To be honest, I'm not saying it's healthy to continuously do that every second of the day, all day, every day, continuously throughout the duration of time together. But I'm saying it is a process, honestly, especially when initially we are beginning to learn and get to truly know each other, because a relationship is not like, you know, it's not a quick fix. It's not a hookup. And that's the biggest thing. That's why I was talking about the whole focus, the whole discipline, this and that, by checking in with my own self again. Because sometimes we do want that fast way, that quick fix, you know, this or that, just because it is hard, you know, to be different and, you know, to be going this righteous path of life. We're giving up some things. We're sacrificing some things, pleasurable desires, you know, nights out at the, you know, club and this and that, you know what I mean? Because we're listening to our own self and we're running our own race. So, you know, it's easy to get distracted and just follow what everybody else is doing, go to the club, going to party, you know, just not doing nothing all day, every day for many days, just sitting inside a room, not doing nothing but consume TV or whatever, social media, this and that. That's very easy to do, but it's not productive and it's not moving forward. It's not accomplishing nothing. So that's why that's why I've learned to, you know, detach from that little by little. And times, even if I do need to get checked, I check myself, you know, just to really, really, really strengthen these roots and stand down, you know. And I'm clapping because there's dogs in here. Obviously, you heard them barking, but yeah, we're getting preparing to go walk for the day and knock out the day. But you know, like I'm ready to let this go, ready to let it fly, you know. And I'm letting it fly too, because we are growing still. You know, I'm not even gonna be stuck so much about, you know, the whole popularity or viral stuff on here. It's really just the impact and the connections with the people is what I'm really focused on, like interacting, because this is some big stuff. I'm starting at a super young age, and I'm grateful for it. Some big things can grow from it. Stop. Some big things can grow from it, and we can go far, to be honest. And just maybe I need some artwork, some paintings, some words of affirmations, some things to write, this and that. Some people get tattoos, you know what I mean? There's different ways, like writing stuff on the mirror, on the refrigerator, this and that. Like, it may sound weird or whatever, but like it works. It's true, because if you saying that focus, then you're not gonna get off track. Then you're not gonna constantly be going back to old ways or copying everybody else or comparing everybody else just because you think you're like them. And I guess shout out to the homie, the mentor, Ralph Smart, Infinite Waters. I remember a lot of times he'll say, forget who you think you are and become who you are. And like, that's super true, like words of meaning, because I'm finding myself overcoming this scenario within my own self, because a lot of times, we'll still be unprogramming, losing this junk, from illusionary things, illusionary ways of living, like stuff that's been ingrained within us. And I guess the biggest thing, honestly, I can say is like race, the culture thing, race and culture, like all of that. All of us were divided in schools by black, white, Mexican, and Asian, Native American, whatever, and like a lot of that has been hanging on over a lot of us for a long time. And a lot of times, there is, people who still are really heavy into that, and you can feel it without them even saying it. Like, you can just see that representation amongst them. It doesn't mean you have to go judging all day or every day or getting too serious about it, but it's just having discernment. It's being able to sense things out, like sense out vibes, sense out and see truthfully what they're embodying, and not wasting too much time, not making a big deal or anything, but just like putting some dots together and just making a decision for our own self, to really just stay on track. Because there are a lot of, folks out there that think that there's something that, you're not, like it's all connected, like we are the world, truly, we are all literally one. As cliche and corny and cheesy as that sounds, it's the truth, it's the truth. And like, for me to do a video like this when I'm alone here with the dogs, that's awesome for me to say. And it's an awesome thing for me to do, because maybe somehow, some way, it will reach other people, for other people to realize this as well. Because out in the real world, this matrix, this busy city, guess what? This million of people driving around doing various different things. So like, it's really hard to try to force, the truth, these ways, these facts or whatever on people at all, So that's why we just mind our own business and just accept ourselves and just serve as an inspiration, not so much as a person of comparison or a person of, force or whatever, like, but just being passionate, being true, and not really having that mindset or that mentality to just focus so much on trying to convert people or change people or persuade people or get attention from people, but just leaving in that neutral space and just speaking our own unique truth and providing, real evidence, real experience, real truth, our own truth, and just having that align. That's the best thing I could say about that. And just constantly knowing who we are as a unique person, because to be honest, that whole illusion race concept is what really gets a lot of people to lose their authenticity to be real. And that's something that, I would be wondering, questioning, bothered by, about for a long time, even though I've always been a very different guy. You know what I mean? I've had friends, this and that, but like, I always felt like I never fit in and that I stand out and, I had something different to bring to the table because I'm being myself, and I just gotta not let other people's baggage, other people's energy, other people in general, random strangers, this and that, to, not get me so trouble minded or thinking too much, analyzing, whatever, about that stuff, because a lot of times I will start, you know, getting in that pattern, and it's not a lot of times, to be honest. It happens, to be real. And I guess the main solution is just pure acceptance of myself, and that's what I'm working on, and just providing out to the world, the content, with the content. So that's what I'm saying about that. Just to stay on track and handle my business and be who I am. This golden aura that the universe created me with. And just using what I have, the best what I have, and really just creating the reality, surrendering to this purpose, surrendering to this divine order, surrendering to who I uniquely am as an energetic, astrological, cosmic being, and just being accepting of that, not just, you know, lost floating around in the wind like a leaf, wondering which side of who I am. But still, put my feet down, digging my heels in deep, and just saying, hey, this is who I am, you know. Accept me for who I am, or watch me as I go, and that's like the best way I can say it, because I'm not so concerned about what everybody else is doing. I have some ideas, I have some thoughts occasionally.